According to China's provisions on minimum wage, the legal minimum wage refers to the minimum labor remunerations that shall be paid by the employers to the employees under the precondition that the employee has provided normal labor within the promissory working hours or within the working hours that is prescribed in the labor contracts. The minimum wage standards are determined by provincial governments by taking into consideration factors such as the minimum living costs of local employees and their dependents, the urban residents' consumption price index, the social insurance premiums, and the housing funds paid by the employees themselves, the average salary of the employees, the level of local economic development, the local employment status, etc. In general, the minimum wage standards appear in two forms, namely the monthly minimum wage standard and the hourly minimum wage standard. The monthly minimum wage standard applies to full-time employees, while the hourly minimum wage standard applies to non-full-time employees, such as part-time and temporary employees. To be noted, the minimum wage is just the basic wage that employers must pay their employees, which excludes overtime pay, night shift allowance, summer high temperature allowance, the special working environment allowance, and subsidies for meals. Local governments in China are generally required to update their minimum wages every few years but have the flexibility to adjust wages according to local conditions. Most provinces set different classes of minimum wage levels for different areas depending on the given region's level of development and cost of living. For example, a higher minimum wage class is established for the provincial capital and the most developed cities in the province, whereas smaller cities and rural areas fall under a lower wage class.